Welcome to this video about the future index and the project that is created, pointing this future index as the basis for the activity set. So you have received the link to this page in an email, and from here you can either create a new user if you don't have one on the selection platform, or you can apply to this project, start using the project using an existing user. You will have your logo here and the account that your user of this project is linked to, and below that you have the activity set included in the future index. So let's start by creating a user. So you enter your username and the email you're going to use for this project, and then mobile, and then the password, and ABCD1234 in my case. Prove the use of anonymized data and that I'm not a robot, and then create a user. What happens now is that the user is created, and you will have received an email with information about that also contains an activation link for that user. So go to your email client, and here you will see an email coming from the selection platform with the activation link. So let's press on that, and then let's log into the selection platform, which happens automatically. So now we're inside the platform, and here you see you have your logo displayed. You have this is a future index project, username, and then it's linked to the main account in this case. If I just refresh, I also see that the status of this project is created, and below that you have an overview of all the activities that you need to go through in order to fuel up your digital twin with the data needed to calculate a match against the future index or the future ideal profile. Below that you have a progress bar, you have a button that becomes enabled when all activities are done. And below that again, you will get all the data displayed as you complete different activities. So let's start off with the first activity, which is a bio activity, entering basic information about you. I'm a male, I have one sister, I'm the second born, have a master's degree, born in Norway. Let's see if I find it here, there. Salary level, you can put it, or you can just put other if you don't want to show that. And below that we have a number of attributes that we think is interesting or that might be relevant for the future index, so we like to collect that. Number of likes per day, around between 20 and 100. People in network, more than 1,000 in my case. Memberships, between 10 and 30. Number of personal emails, around 70, so 30 to 100. And more than 50 apps on my mobile. For some of the activities you have a save button you can press, or you can use navigation buttons down right, either to go to the next activity or go back to the home page. So let's press go back to the home page when this activity is done, and you also see that now that we have done bio, and then this is ticked off and the progress bar has moved to 17% complete. So let's move to the next activity, personality test. This is a very compressed personality test, which gives you an indication as to your personality, and it's based on your agreement if a certain adjective is a good fit for you or not. So the first adjective is I am quiet, and then you answer by selecting one of the options to the right, and if it's either a perfect fit or no fit at all or something in between. So I'm quiet, it's not really a good fit, so poor fit. Next one is I'm shy, no fit at all. I'm restrained, and not really a good fit either. I'm an extrovert, yeah, mostly, but not to the extreme, so it's, let's say it's some fit. assertive, etc., etc. So there is exactly 30 adjectives that you need to answer to, and you saw that the test is auto-saved. You can also press save here to go in and out and save as you go along. And when done, you press calculate and save to see the results of this. So let's move back to the home page and look at the next activity set. And if you want to go in and out, you can now click on personality again, and you see the results or the answers that we gave previously is still here. So that means you can go in and out of these tests as you want. Some of them. Some others, specifically fluid and the games, you enter and you do them, and you can't go back and redo them. While personality, traits, and cognitive flexibility, you can save temporarily and then come back again if you want. Let's then have a look at fluid intelligence, and then you have a short description of what this is. It's about fluid intelligence, so it's close to what the Mensa tests look like and the dynamics of that. And it measures your intuitive intelligence, which is different from your cognitive intelligence, which is more intelligence based on what you have learned at school or at work, etc. So let's start this, and the logic is as follows. So you have a pattern to the left, a 3x3 matrix, and then there is one element missing. So you have to look at the other elements and see if there is a certain pattern here. And then you have to look to the right for these different options to see which one suits. So I think this is the correct answer to the first one. So when you have pressed the right option, you are automatically taken to the next question. And here you look the same way. So you have a certain logic here, and then you see this. And then the right answer here is most likely this one. And there is altogether 15 questions on this, and at the last page you will see the results, and then you can go back to the home page again. So let's break this and go back to the home page. Look at traits, another test which is similar to the personality. You can switch between languages on these tests, English and Norwegian for the time being. And here you have 25 statements, and then you look at the statement and then you say if you agree or disagree or something in between with regards to that statement. So you just select the one that is correct for you. Same thing, you can press and save. It's auto-saved also at certain intervals, and when done, calculate and save, and then move back to the home page or to the next activity. Fifth is the cognitive flexibility, which is a test that gives you an indication of how good you are at dealing with fundamental changes in your context or in your environment in your life, and how you deal with stress and to some extent also traumatic situations. So how flexible and dynamic you are. Similar to the logic or the structure of personality and the cages test, you have certain number of statements. You can switch between Norwegian and English if you want. And then you agree with this by saying it's never true, always true. But keep in mind, for this cognitive flexibility, you have to think about the last 14 days. So the last 2 weeks, have that in mind, and then answer if this was never true or always true or something in between when it comes to these different statements. So I was satisfied understanding myself, knowing my assets and limitations, knowing what life is about. So last 14 days, in my case, often true. Not always, but often true. I was satisfied expressing myself creatively in my last 14 days, always true. I had plenty of energy to meet each day. I was a bit tired this week, so let's say neither nor, sometimes true. And then you continue like that. So it's all together, this is a bit longer, so it's 46 statements. It's auto-saves at certain intervals, or you can press save. You can go in and out. When done, you just press calculate and save, and then you see the results. So let's move back to the home page and look at the games. Now I'm going to look at all the 5 different games in this case. So when you press this, you're taken to the first game. And here you get a dialogue, which is the same for all the games. You get a dialogue explaining a bit of the logic of the game itself. Then you press start when you're ready to play the game. So the first game is according to flexibility. You have a card below, and then you have 4 different cards above that represent different patterns. Initially, you just have to guess the pattern of the one below. So let's try, is it yellow? No. Red background means that it's the wrong answer. Maybe it's this. Yep. So it's the shape that's important now. So you keep the pattern, shape, shape triangle, shape circle, shape square, shape square. Every time it's correct, green background. Now it turns that it's red background. That means that the pattern has changed. So at certain intervals, which is randomly selected, the pattern changes, and you have to re-look for the new pattern. So it's not the same as the previous one, so you have 3 left, so it can be number 3, yeah. Okay, so the number of elements. 1 element, 4 elements, 3 elements, 1 element, 4 elements. Now it was red background, pattern has changed. And now you have to find a new pattern and then follow that, etc, etc. I put it on pause to see the game. Okay, now the game has finished. The results is saved. And then it's displayed in this dialog. So you have the number of stars from 1 to 4, a bit about description of it, and then you have the option either to close this dialog and keep the results of the game run that you just did, or you can delete and rerun the game. And if you press delete and rerun, you have 2 more reruns to do before we have to move to the next game. So you have altogether 3 chances to play the same game to get the optimal result. So let's keep the game results for this one and then press next to go to the next game. Same thing, initially you get a dialog with the logic of the game, press start to start the game, and here the logic is as follows. You have a pattern, main pattern above, and then you twist that 180 degrees clockwise, and then you look at the options 1 to 3 below to see which one is matching the main pattern. So here you see, okay, and this is the right pattern. If you press the right pattern in the options below, the green background, and you move to the next pattern. If you press the wrong one, the background color is red, and you get a second chance. Then the third one, it's this one, and then this. No, that's wrong. Okay, let's try this one. No, then this one. Yep. Okay, so now you see the logic of it, and at the end the same thing happens. You get results up with the dialogue, and in this case again I select to keep the results and then move to the next game. So this was the second of 5 games. Third game, same thing happens. Get a dialogue with a bit of logic about the game. Press start to start the game. And here the dynamic is as follows. You use the arrow keys on your keyboard. And then you indicate for the blue balls the direction of the movement of the blue balls. So in this case, they're moving to the left. So press left arrow. Now they're moving up, moving left. Now the green balls are coming. The green balls have a different logic. You have then to press the arrow in the opposite direction of the movement. So in this case, they're moving right, opposite is left. Blue balls, you have to press in the same direction, right, opposite direction, same direction, same direction, same direction, down same direction, left, opposite direction, left, same direction, left, same direction, same direction, right, same direction, up, opposite direction, etc, etc. Get the results, I keep the results and move to the next game. Press start. The logic of this game is that you have to press the numbers in the right order. So you press 1, 2, 3, 4, where is 5 is there, 6 is there, 7 is there, etc, etc, 8. So here you have to press a right button, right number in the right sequence. If you press the wrong sequence, then you get the frame red and you have to retry. When this board is finished, you get a new board, and the new board will then consist of letters and numbers. And then you have to press the numbers in the right sequence, alternating with the letters in the right sequence. So 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, etc, etc. So I put the game on pause to see the results later. Okay, so now the fourth game is finished. I keep the results and then go to the next game, which should be the last game. Read through the instructions, press start. Logic of this game is that you read the word above and you see if the color of the word below is the same. So here it says purple and the color below is red, or purple, sorry. So word above, color below. Purple in word, purple in color, match. Red and red color, match. Says orange, but is green, not a match. Says black, is black, match. Is red and is black, not a good match. Says purple, is orange, not a good match. So you have to match the word above with the color of the word below. And that's the logic of the game. So let's now just wait until it's finished. And that's it. You get the results, and you close the keypad, and then we are done. So that's all the 5 games. So let's move back to the home page. And now I'll pause the video a bit so that I can complete activities, and then we'll see the results. So just hold on a second. Okay, now I have completed all the activities. Now you see that the button to make this visible to the project is enabled, so we can just press that to make this visible. And then we can also calculate. I'll come back to that in a few seconds. And below you see all the results from these activities displayed in their separate frames. So let's now do what we came here to do, and actually, based on this digital twin and the data we collected, calculate the match with the future index. So we see here that the risk or the score is 48.7 on a scale from 0 to 100. And the intervals are, if you're above 75% match, you have a good match with this score. So a low risk profile, a good match. Between 50 and 75, you have a medium risk profile, so a reasonably good match. And below 50, there are some challenges or some things that you need to do in order to increase the likelihood of success in the future work market. 48.7 is below 50, so it's a high risk profile. So it's a weak fit with a future index, and you will struggle to succeed even given the right circumstances. So you need to work on certain things here in order to increase the match and increase the likelihood of success in the future work market. Below that, we dive into more details, and we see the score and the match for the different areas. So you have the personality, and here it's a high risk, so there are certain elements here that are affecting the results. Intelligence is a reasonably good fit, so it's almost up in a good fit area, so it's at 75. Traits is a medium risk, and the same goes for cognitive flexibility, which is a medium risk. And the core skills also have a high risk, so that's the highest risk. And so this is the games, the neuroscience-based games, that is linked to the future skill set identified by World Economic Forum. So what I would focus on here is the core skills, so the games, etc. and then look at personality, which elements there affects this. And then the results, as I mentioned, is below. But let's make this visible to the project that this is part of and to the account. So that's done. And what you can also do now is to convert this user to a standard user and then get access to more advanced functionality and results based on that. So let's now then just click on the cog in the top right corner and then convert this to a standard user. So just press on convert user and OK. And now we are taking from the task focused user interface, which is usually used when collecting data for other candidates that are applying for a job or a certain project in this case, an assessment, etc. And when done, you can either leave the user as such, if you're happy with that, or you can convert to a standard user and then get access to much more functionality in the platform as such. So I just run through this initially wizard and say that I don't want to see this wizard again. And then go to the home page, and then you can see the results that we just collected is here. It's linked to your profile or your digital twin in the system. We can look at the personal profile here. And here you see all the elements here. Your personality with the 5 factors, intelligence test, cognitive flexibility, etc., etc. On the left you have access to simulations we can look at, and which is a topic for another video. Same goes for wizard. And here you get a look at how you can analyze the data yourself, how you can build training to compensate or to increase scores in certain tests or games. Test and game here, you get access to all the tests on the platform. It's altogether around 22 games, and you can also get access to all the games. So all the tests, 22, and the 15 different games we have on the platform. So here you can play around as much as you want. And then all this for individuals is free and available to anybody. So as an individual, you're not paying for the platform as such. There are a lot of other functionalities also here, but that's topic for another video. So thank you for listening to this. We have gone through the activity set of the future index. We have done all the activities, looked at results, and converted to a standard user, allowing you to use more of the collection platform. So thanks for listening and good luck using the platform. Thank you.